The fantasy playoffs are 4 weeks away. That means you have got 4 weeks to either fine-tune that roster to make the push for the title, or you've got 4 weeks to recoup maximum value and sell off your assets as you look towards 2025. We're going to dive into 6 players you should either be buying or selling right now in Dynasty. We're going to start with Drake Maye. If you've followed this show all through the offseason, you know I'm a massive Drake Maye fan. I think he is playing some phenomenal football right now. The reason he's a buy, this situation is only going to get better. The Patriots are going to have an early draft pick in the first round. They're going to have plenty of cap space in free agency to spend. The offensive line is going to improve. The wide receiver core is going to get an upgrade. And that means only great things for Drake Maye. He is producing from the pocket, but the incredible thing, he's got a 12.6% scramble rate right now. He is producing with his legs. That's almost 5 rush attempts a game. And that is absolute fancy gold. So go out and buy Drake Maye right now in those dynasty leagues, whether you're contending, whether you're looking towards the future. He is an ascending asset. Yes, you might have to buy high, but I'm happy paying 2/3 plus for him. And I think he is a guy that you can put in as a cornerstone of your franchise for very, very many years to come. Time to get negative, though. Nick Chubb, he was the feel-good story 2-3 weeks ago. He's coming back from that horror knee injury. He started earning the whole of this backfield when he first came back, but Jerome Ford was back. Jerome Ford actually played more snaps than Nick Chubb last week. This is going to be a split backfield moving forward for the rest of the year, which means neither of these guys you can start moving forward. Nick Chubb is a free agent at the end of the year. Is anyone going to want to really bring in an aging veteran running back off a serious knee injury to be their lead back? I don't think so. I think that he could maybe get a role next year as a committee back, but even then, you're probably not going to be able to feel comfortable starting him. These are the last few weeks of relevancy. Maybe you can sell him on name value alone, but I would take a 3rd-round pick. Maybe you can get a late second, but don't just stick him on the trade block, though. You've got to be proactive. Go and work the trade. Go and maybe add him into a bigger trade, because if you just stick him up there, no one's looking to come buy Nick Chubb right now. So you've got to be proactive trying to sell him. The next guy I'm looking to buy, though, Dak Prescott. I have seen some absolute unreal panic in the last 24 hours regarding Dak Prescott. Yes, we've got this hamstring injury. I've said in my weekly review write-up that I do for our members, I think Dak Prescott could be done for the 2024 season. There's no reason for him to rush back. It feels like it could be a 4 to 6 week injury, if not longer. And the Cowboys are probably going to be out of the playoffs by then. But you don't need to get scared off. Dak Prescott is still going to be the starting quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys for at least the next 3 seasons because of the contract he signed. He's going to be tied to CeeDee Lamb for at least the next 3 seasons. Dynasty asset. Yes, he may not have those super high ceilings of some of the other dynasty quarterbacks, but he's going to be a rock solid back end QB1, high end QB2 for your dynasty roster. I'd chuck him in the same price category as Drake Maye. Obviously, a slightly different profile in terms of his career, but he should be a plug and play starter for you for the next 3-4 years, no doubt. And that has insane value. So if you can get incredible value, because contending teams are panicking and looking to get any sort of starting quarterback right now, I would absolutely go and do that. I saw him go straight up for Matthew Stafford. I saw him go for Kirk Cousins and a second. It feels like you could get a really good value on Dak Prescott right now if you're a rebuilding team. If you want more fantasy content, though, hit that subscribe button. We've got more and more and more content coming your way every single day, every single week, all the way, all season round. We have got you covered. Time to get negative again. Jeudy. Now, this is a perfect opportunity to sell high. He had 11 targets in week 9. That feels like obscene volume. Time to sell off it. He's being incredibly inefficient off the back of those targets. This offense is going to be boom bust with James Winston under center. Look, Tillman is absolutely balling right now. I think he is the wide receiver one. I think he is a person that they're going to build around moving forward. Yes, Jeudy got the contract, but I'm not too excited about him. The Browns aren't exactly going to have any avenues to bring in a decent quarterback next year. So I'm concerned about what Jeudy could be. I think you can get a solid 2nd-round pick. Maybe it's a player-for-player trade, because I don't know if you want to go and get picks in return for Jeudy. But yeah, he's a player that I'm maybe looking to throw into a bigger deal and just shed off my roster right now. One player I'm not looking to shed off though, Josh Downs. Look, the guy is awesome. The guy is a bona fide stud slot receiver who just gets open. This whole Colts offense had a bad week last week. Let's draw that up to the Minnesota Vikings defense. We know that they have one of the craziest schemes and one of the most unique defenses in the league. But Josh Downs still had 40% targets per route run. Joe Flacco is going to force feed him the ball. They've said this week that it looks like Joe Flacco is going to be the starter for the rest of the season. Josh Downs could be a league winner, hiding in plain sight. I talked about him being a buy last week. Now the fact that he's had a down week, it opens that window even more. Maybe you can buy off the fact that there's some uncertainty around whether Joe Flacco is going to be the starting quarterback for the rest of the season. I'd pay a late first. I don't think you need to pay that much right now. Go and get Josh Downs because he's going to help you this season. And he's going to help you for the next 3 or 4 coming. The final guy, you saw him on the thumbnail, Tyreek Hill. Look, I'm really concerned about this Dolphins offense. There's been some rumors in the last 48 hours that Mike McDaniel might be on the hot seat. That feels slightly ridiculous, having signed a contract in the offseason. But if any other scenario, we had a 30-year-old wide receiver who relies on speed and agility, who's having a down year, everybody would be screaming to sell him. But because it's Tyreek Hill, no one wants to do it. Yes, this absolutely could, end up with egg on my face. Tyreek Hill could go on an absolute tear down the second half of this year, win people leagues. This offense looks like it was at the start of last year, and it's firing on all cylinders. But I'll be honest, I just don't think that's going to happen. I think these are probably the highest we're going to see Tyreek Hill valued in Dynasty circles. I think his value is going to continually decline, particularly this offseason when we start talking about age 31 seasons. I think people are going to get scared off. So this feels like your last opportunity sell at peak value. I'd happily take a mid-2025 first. I think you can get more from that right now. I think you can probably get a first, a second. Maybe you can pivot to another player. But yeah, Tyreek Hill is on my sell list. If you're a contender, I can kind of get hold of him, but even in that scenario, I'd rather pivot to another contending wide receiver. Can I go and get Cooper Kupp and a second-round pick, something like that? I just don't feel confident in Tyreek Hill right now and rest of the season. Do you agree with my buy sells? Is there someone you think I've missed? Let me know in the comments below. And of course, we'll answer every single one of those questions. So if you've got those trade questions, get them in and we'll move forward.